Catholic Mobilizing Network works to end the use of the death penalty and promotes restorative justice. Let the Church always be a place of mercy and hope.
My name is Kristin Froehlich. I am the sister of a murder victim, and I oppose the death penalty. In 1995, my 22-year-old brother David and 4 of his friends were murdered in Connecticut by David's landlord. 5 young men gunned down and their bodies burned. After the murder, it took dental records to identify David's body. I was traumatized and depressed. I lost my beliefs that life was predictable and that people were trustworthy. Initially a capital case, preparation for the trial of my brother's killer took several years. I started to pin my hopes on the trial to resolve some of my feelings. The delays were confusing and frustrating. Prosecutors never asked us if we wanted the death penalty. Fortunately, a friend in my grief support group helped me understand that the trial was a separate process from the grieving and healing I needed to do. She explained that the legal process is designed to punish an offender, but not to heal victims. Her words freed me from false hope. Eventually, the state abandoned seeking the death penalty, and the killer was given life without parole. Had I waited for an execution to heal my pain, I would have been cruelly disappointed. I could have waited years for an execution that may never have come. During appeals, the horrible details of the crime would have been paraded over and over in the media and in court. Having been freed from that expectation, I was able to get on with the necessary grieving and healing. I got to mourn my brother's death and to celebrate his life free from the overwhelming burden of endless criminal proceedings. I could celebrate David's friendliness, his humor, and his determination. My family and community members were able to treasure the gift of each young life. Over the years, many have pronounced that an execution is the way that survivors of murder will be healed. They say, the death penalty is for the victims. That is not my experience. Grieving and healing are lifelong processes with no shortcuts. Because I was no longer depending on a trial or an execution to heal my pain, I was free to explore other ways to heal. I volunteered at my church. I went back to school for social work and became a therapist, even working at a women's prison. Eventually, I started working against the death penalty. I knew it didn't fit with my values. Joining others to work for positive change has helped me heal far more than a death sentence or execution would have. I have met people who are dedicated, trustworthy, and compassionate. I learned that my own actions could make a difference. Today, when people ask, why should the killer live when my loved one is dead? I know they are expressing the normal anger, despair, and confusion that accompany murder. Family members desperately want some relief from their pain. They desperately want their loved one's life to be remembered and honored. Over the 20 years since my brother's murder, I have come to realize that those questions link the value of the murder victim and the fate of the killer. I have never been comfortable with that equation. Why should the value of a precious human being depend on the arbitrary fate of the person who hurt them the most? I urge us all to break the link between the value of the victim and the fate of their killer. The value of a human being is beyond measure. To a grieving mother, I can say, your child's life is valuable because you love them and cherish their memory. Whether the killer lives or is executed does not change the immense value of a beloved child. Children are precious, period. Breaking that link between the value of our loved one and the fate of their killer can help us move forward with our grieving. It can help us find some measure of peace. It is the only way that we can prevent the killer from taking our lives as well as our loved ones. It frees us to find meaningful ways to honor the lives of our loved ones and to heal our own lives. Thank you.
Catholic Mobilizing Network to end the use of the death penalty and promote restorative justice.